Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our second meetup. We are very excited to see that so many people again, compared to the first one, attended our meetup. So I don't know if somebody knows Collequio already, except the people who are working for us. Does anybody know anything about us? You have been working for us. Nothing? Okay. So we are the biggest in Europe, the biggest communities for doctors. So basically founded to share knowledge between doctors on in different variations. So one doctor in Hamburg can speak with a doctor in Munich or somewhere else in Germany or Europe to discuss about stuff which is going on the platform. So what exactly is happening is that we are providing content on our platform. That means a special product is placed on our platform, and our editors at Collequio are writing something on the platform, usually very high, deep medicine content regarding the product. So what happens then is the doctors are reading that content and starting to discuss about it. So the product is nice, or there's a problem when I have started to use the product, or something else. And what happens then is that the doctors are gaining knowledge about that. So they know each other, they are talking to each other, they are changing or challenging themselves, challenging others. So a big discussion forum is starting. So that comes to our mission and our vision. The vision of Collequio is to make patients' lives in the world, to be honest, better. So to gain the best practices on the doctor's market, or in the clinical market, or somewhere else, to make patients' lives better. So that's our vision, and that's what we are doing every single day. Any question about that for now?
What are you the money?
Huh?
I saw it's free forever on your website.
It's not free forever, but in the moment it's free. Yes, for doctors it's free. So how do we earn money? Very good question. So what we are doing, we have partners, usually from pharmaceutical industry. So a pharmaceutical company like Pfizer, for example, is developing a product for cancer, and they want to get a little bit more insights from the doctors who are using that product. So they are giving us information. We are trying to develop a content which is good for the doctors to read it, right? That they understand the standpoint behind and the message behind the content, and then they're starting to discuss about it. So what happens then is, of course, the pharmaceutical company is paying for that, right? So that's how we earn money in the moment. And the doctors are gaining knowledge. And also the pharmaceutical companies can develop the product further on. So that's the second big standpoint. Okay. Why do we do that meetups? From the most important thing why we are doing this is because we want to learn from each other. We want to gain knowledge from other people. We want to share knowledge as well. So we have some really, really cool people in our company, most of them, and they are doing really, really cool stuff. So that's why we decided to bring a little bit. One is there. So that's why we decided to bring a platform, to bring up a platform where all those people who are working every day on this platform and on stuff, where they can just talk about it outside of the company. So that's why the meetups are existing. So last time it was, where is he? Here. Thomas? So the next time is now René. René, you can come if you want. So I cannot explain what they are talking about because I really don't have any clue.
I will explain. That's why I'm
last time and this time as well. So I think you can take over and can maybe do your stuff.
Thank you very much, Rico. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. To be honest, it's the first meetup I talk where the pizza is before the talk. So I was wondering if someone stays here or the other talk. I wondered if they're just staying for the pizza. So thank you for being here. And I hope you will enjoy the talk because I'd like to tell you some experiences we made in the Colloquia IT. And I'd just like to introduce you. Maybe a new tool, I don't know, maybe you know it. I'll just give you an introduction to a very nice tool to get out of email hell. I am René Bach. I'm a senior front-end developer at Colloquio. So I have some slides. First one. Okay, green is on. Rico, you. Okay, this is the agenda. So the first point we can make very short because Rico already told a little bit about it. Just a little information about Colloquio, about the IT, what we are doing. Then I come to the HTML emails. It's the main element of this talk. And I tell a little bit about my experience from this hell, email hell. Then I'd like to introduce you the new tool, the MJML, and then in the end just have an open round, ask your question. Please feel free to ask a question during my talk or wait till the end. It's on you, just have fun. So let's start. First thing, what is Colloquio? Rico, thank you very much for the introduction. I think you have a little bit of a plan what we do. So just because I have it, the slides. So we are 10 years old. We had a very nice anniversary party this summer. And we are about 120 employees, if it's right. So if Bamboo is not lying. Yeah. So most of them are in Constance, the Lake of Constance. It was founded there. But we are now having an office here in Munich and in Hamburg as well. And yeah, we are growing. So as Rico said, we have about 175,000 members. That means they are really members. They are registered. They are only registered members are allowed to access our platform. In Germany, we call it doctors. Here internally, we are talking of physicians. So if you see the word physicians and you come from Germany, that is more or less doctors. Yeah? Even they don't have a title. In Germany, we call them doctors. Here in the talk, it's about physicians. And yeah, as you said, we are enabling the exchange between doctors and all the members. That is all said. So, Colloquio IT is just a few words. We have 3 teams. 3 development teams in Constance, one right now growing in Munich. We have brand new members here, glad to find them. They're working here, and we are continuing building up our teams in Constance as well as in Munich. So if you are interested, just come to us and talk to us after the meetup. What I'm talking today, so what we are doing, as I said, we are in a closed community. So you are only able to read all the content if you are a member. Therefore, it makes no sense, or it's not so effective to do search engine optimization or search engine marketing, because we can't just provide any contents to the open world. Yeah? So we need to find another way to contact the physicians and make them come to our platform every day or once a week or several times. Yeah? So we do email marketing. Yeah? Some might say, okay, email marketing is so 1990, yeah? But this is one of the things we still need to do, yeah? Because it's the most effective way to get in contact with our physicians. And so we are doing email marketing. And so we have different kinds of emails. One is editorial content. We have our members. They're writing some contents and send it to the physicians. We have transactional mails that are email notifications, for example, if I don't know if you wrote a comment on an article and someone else answered you, you get a transactional mail, and we have about 200,000 emails per day we are sending. So not different mails, so we have different types, so 4 to 5 different types, but per day we are sending about 200,000 mails. And we see in our analytics that this is very important. This is the main mean to contact our doctors. So it's still important. Oops. So what we are doing, maybe you know these tools we are using. We are using MailChimp for sending these emails, for bulk mails, for example. Mandrill is that one in the middle, is for transactional mails in general. And Litmus is a tool, for example, where we can check the displaying of the in different clients. I will come to that later. So what I want to tell you. So today, most of us, we are using our mobile phones. And this is important for websites as well as for emails. They need to be responsive. Today, it's not a problem. If you're a front-end developer, even a beginner, it's very easy to just have such an email. I just made an example. It is a classical one, just with an header and with three columns, and they behave different in different devices. Yeah? Here it's one column and 3 columns when the space is enough. So it's very easy to do such an email or to build such an HTML. In that case, here is just an example. It's about 80 lines to write such an email or such a content that is responsive. It's very easy, really easy job to do. So, but if you watch it in several browsers, yeah, the most important ones, I don't know, from Internet Explorer 11 Plus and all the other browsers that are enabling the new techniques, HTML5 already, it's very easy. It works everywhere. But if you check the clients, yeah, the email clients, there are so many different ones. Yeah? So let's have a look how this one looks in different browsers. So this is Google Mail, yeah, in a regular browser. I think it's Chrome. You see, it starts with, okay, it does not support SVG. I don't know why, but it does not. Yeah, but the rest, okay, is fine. Even it's a browser, it's a desktop, it's one column. It should be a 3 column because it's not a mobile device. But okay, I can live with it. And then I check it on a mobile version, and I have it as well. It's not supporting SVG, and the last thing is it's Office or Outlook, and this is Word. It's not SendWord. It supports SVG, but it does not look like I wanted it to look like. And yeah, to make a long story short, it's just a pity. Yeah, what the hell? Yeah, so breakpoints does not work because it's always one column. Yeah? It should be 3 columns because there are breakpoints in it. Doesn't supporting it. Image are not centered. SVG is partially supported, and everything is a mess. So this is what we have to live with when we want to write code for email clients. So back to the 90s. Yeah, we need to do HTML tables. I don't know, anyone who started his career 10 years ago or 15 years ago and knows exactly what it means to do table layout. Yeah, so that is what we all started. So it was a common thing to do table layout. Yeah, just do a table, looks very good. The columns are always on the same position, always there where we want it. There were no mobile devices, so just don't care. But today it's different. But we still need to do it. Back to the 90s. So what I did, I took my example and made a table out of it. So the colors are not that good, but if you see the borders, it displays. That are, I think, three different tables. The first one is that one, the whole one. The first section, I call it, is a table. This one is a table, this one is a table, this one is a table. So they are encapsulated tables to make that look like that. Yeah, so cool. So if you have to write that code by yourself, that's not funny. That's not nice. But it gets even worse because there are so many different clients here you have to support. You should consider having some conditionals. Yeah? So your table-based design. Okay, so first of all, it's 300 lines of code. If you remember, the first example was 80 lines of code. If you do the table design, it's about 300 lines of code. Yeah, so that starts. And you need conditional tags. Yeah, can't see that. I can't see it here. If it's Microsoft, then do something. If not, do other things. If you see that one, this is from 1999. I don't have to say something. I think that is just a pity. But you have to do that if you want to be able to support as many clients as possible. So yeah, maintenance is the hell. That's why I call this talk "Escaping the Hell." So why table design? I already said it. We have so many different clients. So this one, this is a chart from March, but I think it didn't really change. So this is only the top 10. Yeah, but I just checked the analytics of our emails. We have about 70 different clients that are displaying our emails. And even the big one, so the biggest one has about 30%. It's not really the big player, yeah? So we have to support all of them, and so we don't get rid of this table design, yeah? And there are absolutely no standards. So how can we check how it looks like? Yeah, it's really hard to have 70 devices and check their emails. There are gladly some tools that helping you to check how your emails look like. MailChimp, I'm sure some of you know MailChimp, the tool. There you can just add your code and then run some tests with Litmus. Yeah? Litmus is the tool I mentioned before. It just enables you to you can just click on different clients. I think they provide about 70 different or 80 different clients, and you just can have a look. They render you the files or how the emails are displayed. And there you can check. It's not for free. You have to buy some tokens. I think for each test you need to pay one token. I don't know how much it costs, but it's a nice tool to check it. Yeah, for us it's good. But even then, all you know is it looks shitty. Yeah, even you paid for it. The result is okay. You have to do something. So one approach. What can you do to get rid of it or to go through this mess? Yeah, just give it to your working students. Say, hey, come on, there's this template, and we need a new section, and just put it in. They give you 1 week, and it should look like it. But our working students, of course, we admire them. They're very, very nice guys, and of course, they don't have to do such things. So we look for other approaches to solve this problem. And why don't you use a framework or a library that handles that for you? And that is, maybe you will guess it, that is MJML. MJML stands for Mailjet Markup language. Mailjet is a provider for email sending like MailChimp. And I think they had the same problems as we had because all this messy code and maintain it and I don't know, do good email marketing. And they had the idea, why can't we do a meta language to help us solving all these problems in first line, helping us with all these encapsulated tables and all these conditionals. And they developed it, and they had the idea to do it easily and quick, and to build responsive emails easily. And that is what they came up with. Yeah, they came up with their own markup structure and language. And this is basically the main structure. It's very similar to HTML, as you can see. So it starts with this MJML tag and ends with it, and we have two main sections in it. So we have one head section and one body section. It's very similar to HTML. The head section is more or less meta information. It's not for displaying something, and all you want to display happening in the body section. And I'd like to show you some features this MJML gives you. And starting with the body tag, and later up with the head. So how does the body tag looks like? So MJML provides a range of different MJML tags. One of that is body, as I said, and in a body always the first thing is the container. And you can see here I just put a background color attribute on it. So I don't have it in mind every single attribute, but in the documentation you can see what attributes you can give to each element. This one just for example, I just gave it a white background color, and this is how the body tag always starts with. The container is defaultly by 600 pixels. They said that this is the default, and that most clients are supporting that, and they have it. They're working on it that it will be more flexible. Right now it's restricted to 600 pixels. There are some tricks you can enlarge it, but you shouldn't do it. But right now the container should be 600 pixels. So in the container, there are sections. Yeah, so easy that are the lines you want to provide. So the head section, the body section, or the footer, I don't know, could be a section. And in that section, you can divide it your columns. Yeah, and these are the columns. So now in this example, there are 2 columns. And it calculates automatically, so it will be automatically 50%. You can put in up to 6 columns here. So and it calculates automatically how wide the width of these columns. And this is very important for responsiveness. Later we will see that. But in all this text, you can't write some text. If you want to write, I don't know, your own HTML, H1, or a P paragraph or something like that, you need to have an MJ text tag. So this is the part where you can fill in all your content. And there you're absolutely free what you want to fill in. Yeah? There you can just use your HTML and put everything you want in it here. So that is the part where the only part where HTML is rendered. If you put HTML here or here or here, it is not rendered. It will be going out in the compiling process. Because all what MJML is doing, they are just generating HTML for you in the end. If that was not so clear. So they come up with, they provide their own tags for images, for example. So here before you can put just your image tag here if you want it by your own, but you can just use the image, MJ image text from MJML if you want. They provide a responsiveness out of the box. You don't have to care for it. You should or could use that tag for your own images and set your attributes as you need it. So they have others as well. They have buttons. Buttons is a typically things call to actions are very typically in emails. So click here to get to there and to buy something. And since this is a very common pattern and you need it very often, it's very helpful to have this this MJ button out of the box from MJML. And there you can put in what you want here. At the end, here is the text that is displayed, but there are many different possibilities to customize it for your needs. But what is very cool, they have other custom elements or their own elements out of the box. One is the social, the MJ social. That's very cool. You can't see it. It should be an image. Doesn't matter. You can, yeah, if you want to have a Facebook icon or a Google icon, and you want just to send them to the social media parts of that, you can just use the social media tag, and it's very easy. This is for Google, for example. We can have that for Facebook as well, for Twitter. That's very cool. If you want to have a divider, yeah, a line under a section, then just use this divider tag. And that one, this MJ location, I don't know why it's not shown. All you have to do is give in an address, and it will give you a small part of a map, of a Google map with this pin, and you can just put it into your email. So we are here in Munich, Viktualienmarkt, and just give it here, and in every email that has access to the internet, they display this little map on this icon on it. This is very nice feature because you don't have to do it by yourself. They have even carousels out of the box. Yeah? If you liked it in your emails, you can have image carousels. Hero elements, everything that is very common for emails, for email marketing. They have it out of the box. You don't have to do it by yourself. It's very cool. That was the body part, so the part that is shown in every email that you can see, that you can click, and so on. But there is this head part as well. So, and then the head part, you can just set meta information, as we have in HTML. So what is that? You can set attributes. There's this attribute tag, yeah? And there you can say, okay, everything that I explain here should concern the whole page. Yeah? You can say, okay, for all attributes that are displaying text, I want to have Arial as font family. You can say it as a global pattern, and it will be then just included in every table that is displayed in your email template. You can just say every text element should have a padding. You can even there's a very nice feature. You can just even provide classes, CSS classes. Yeah, it's CSS class-like, so you give it a name and give it an attribute. And then later you just can put it as a class name in your element, in your text element. And then you can have a central place where you can change all these attributes. So it's very nice feature. And here, big as well. So I can't scroll it right now. Please believe me, I just added these two classes in one element here in the bottom. And that's a very nice feature because then you can really maintain a template very easily. Styles, yeah. There's this MJ style attribute. You can just put in media queries. You can put regular CSS expressions all that you need. And the difference here, there's this additional attribute inline. That means if you put that CSS class as a class name in your element, in the template, it will additionally automatically put it in as a style. Yeah? So it's as a class and as a style. That is good for devices or for clients that they are not sure if they are they can handle CSS classes. Then you can just say just put it inline as well, and then it will be displaying it both automatically, only without having to do with it. And here you can import your styles. Yeah? This is MJ font. You can say just have an own font name and just fetch it from fonts, for example, from fonts Google APIs, and then it's provided, as you can see, just say I want to have Weiwei, and we automatically have this font in here. So there are many. Just have a look in the documentation. There are very nice features out of the box where you can use for your templates. But if it's not enough, and you're saying, okay, but there's a component that would be very good, and we need it very often, and I don't want to implement it every time, you can write your own components, and very easily. So if you know how to work with React or with Angular, it's very easy to do. So they provide a tutorial, and they have a boilerplate for doing that. And I just want to show you a quick how it looks like. If you are a React developer, I think you will know this. It's very similar to React development. Just import the different sections or columns you want to use in your features. For example, one good example is the footer or the header of your emails, because maybe you have 5 different types of emails, but you are the same company, you have always the same header. Therefore, you want to have an own component that you can use there. And this header is a section with 2 columns, for example. And then you just import the text you need, the section, columns, image, for example, and then you can just build it together. And in the end, it's just a React component, because it's MJML is based on React. And you can export it as a regular module, and you can use it in different projects. This is very easy and very cool to do. Validation is very nice. So you can write your MJML code, but even then you can do errors, of course, and mistakes. And we have a continuous integration chain where I put in this validation, and it breaks when something is not working. And you see in a very early stage if the template is good or not, and if you have to make it better. And one of the coolest thing is you can abstract it, the whole email, as a JSON. Yeah, you have here. You see, this is a regular JSON, and you just can abstract it here. You can put all the text you usually would write. You can put here as a tag name attributes, and you can have children, and they can have children as well. You can encapsulate it, and this is very cool if you have dynamic emails. Yeah, you have a list of properties, and you don't know how many, and it just push a new value to this JSON, and you can build it very easily. And this MJML to HTML, as the name says, just renders you a very nice HTML out of it. And this is very cool for Slim or for dynamic email templating. So, but back to our example. So I took my example that I had, I started with 80 lines of code for this example in a simple HTML5 version. I ended with 300 lines of code when I want to do it by hand for table design. And now I just wrote this template with MJML, and it's about, do I have the number? No, I don't have. I think the number is about 100 lines of code or something like that. it's not really, it's a little bit more than I have in HTML5, but much less than I had in the HTML, in the table design. And it made my life really easier. And this is how my example then looks like. Sorry, I can't scroll. I forgot about it. But I will provide you the link if you want to have a look on the presentation. You can just see the code later. So, summary. HTML emails feels like hell because the missing of standards in email clients, and it won't change. To be honest, don't rely on it that something will change in future or in near future. This will always be a mess. And table-based layouts, they are absolutely 90, but they will always live as long as you have this mess with this email clients. Conditional text, to be honest, I always have to Google for it. I don't know which one I have to use when, and this is not nice, and the maintainability is absolutely not given if you want to do it by hand. Yeah? And why MJML helps? Because it's very quick and easy. It's very just to put together as you like, as a JSON, as a markup, test it very early stage, see the results very quick. This is very cool to do. It is component based. There are different components. Very have a really clear look on how the template looks like, and it's testable. It's testable in very early stage. And that is why I like MJML very much. And I was happy to show you, and I'm open for your questions if you have some.